Michael Bowers heads up the Small Business Development Center, which is a resource for small businesses in that if someone walks in and says, I'd like to start a business, Michael can take over, right? And kind of help them build the framework for a business like that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we do with the Small Business Development Center. It's one of those things where you got to think of it kind of like an economic development engine where we're trying to build jobs, improve the community from that particular point. And the way we do it is through, entrepreneurial activity and small business growth.
And you've gotten a lot of businesses started, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we generally deal with about 1,000 people one-on-one every year.
Wow.
OhioSBDC.
Wow.
That's huge.
So you obviously, I'm sure one of the first things you have people do is figure out what it is, what their business plan is, and really creating that framework so that they know how to go about their process and they have benchmarks and timelines. However, you also can point people in directions for monies and for loans, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what we'll do is that we'll work with them to, like you said, build their business. So,
yeah.
What is their plan of action? What is their strategy? What are they trying to do? Who are their customers? A lot of people want to go out and get loans, or they want to say, okay, how do I do my LLC?
Mm-hmm.
That's all important, but the fact is it's all about getting customers. You've got to get somebody that's going to pay for your product and pay for your product at your price. So we do a lot of work there to try to help them understand their customer, understand their market. Last year, I think that even though there was a pretty heavy credit crunch going on, we were able to help our people get about $7.5 million worth of financing.
Wow, you can't beat that with the stick.
Where's our $7.5 million?
Well, babe, I spent it already. I spent it in the first year. No.
Oh man.
So you have a really cool event coming up called the Ohio Growth Summit. Why don't you tell us the details of that event?
Well, the Ohio Growth Summit, this is the 8th year that we've done this, and I started this in 2005 and started working toward that actually probably in about 2000, 2001. I had gone to New York and I had seen Guy Kawasaki. I went to one of his boot camp programs, and I was just so impressed with him and everything that they were doing that I wanted to bring that kind of thing to Columbus.
Right.
And I worked for a couple years. We kind of built up to that to where Guy was the first keynote speaker that we had. So we brought Guy in 2005, and from there it's just continued to progress. We've had some really great keynote speakers over the years. We've had Chris Brogan. We've had Doug Hall, who was on that American Inventor show.
Yeah.
We've had actually some people that were on The Apprentice.
Yep.
That were here. So
I would love to be on that show.
Yeah. Well, I would envision you being on that show. Really kind of a passion of mine, because what I wanted to do is bring some people with some different perspectives to Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, and that's the kind of thing that we brought with Guy and some of those, and even the current keynotes we're bringing this year.
And there's obviously a lot of people that can benefit from going to the Ohio Growth Summit, but what's an ideal person, or let me change that question. If someone's just got an idea and they really don't know where to go with it, is that someone that can come to the Ohio Growth Summit and really start wrapping their heads around what they need to put together to start a business out of that idea?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what we do with the summit, it's about trying to create an environment where people can really move their business forward. I mean, this is a one-day event, so it's really kind of a catalyst point. So whether I have an idea and I don't know what to do with it, or you are an existing business that's been in business for 15, 20 years and really wants to take it to another level, that's the kind of thing that we can do. Well, people coming to the summit will get.
The reason I really like the event is 3 things. First, the keynotes. Second, the breakout sessions with particular content being discussed and digested. But third, the networking. I cannot emphasize how imperative it is to have friends who are either in your same situation, starting a business, or to find a potential mentor, because maybe someone you meet at this event is farther along in the process than you are. Maybe they progress quicker than you do. And one of the reasons we've done so well in this city with this whole new creation of ours of, buying block programming on radio and starting to syndicate it, something that hadn't been done before, is because we had people in all industries who were just a fan because they had met me before we created the show concept. Now, I want to emphasize to anyone looking to get more advice on business to help themselves further their process and their business development, I want to emphasize you to come to the Ohio Growth Summit, and you can get a discount courtesy of No Excuses. All you got to do is give code No Excuses 20. There's no spaces. That's No Excuses 20. That'll give you 20% off. Now, ticket prices go up as of May 10th. So if you buy your ticket before May 10th, it's only $80. That is it. You're going to spend $80 on 3 drinks, an appetizer this Friday if you go out with you and your buddies. So why don't you save that money? Why don't you stay in, get a little sleep, get some rest, and then you can take that $80 and buy this ticket where you're actually going to get a return on your investment.